This feels like how my shirts from a couple years ago fit now.
Can you get over there?
I can help you. I got you. We'll just move across the canvas.
It's not easy to explain what defines a person as an artist, but here's a stab at it. An artist is someone who harnesses and channels ideas, feelings, and life experiences into something tangible, something extraordinary and meaningful. But what if the canvas is a fellow human being? And the raw materials needed to create are no longer charcoal, paint, or lumps of clay. The vision isn't to create a piece of art. It's to build resilience, belongingness, direction, and hope. Along with a firm belief that life is worth living. This is the epitome of being an artist.
Tafadzwa Ndoda munhu anotungamira vanhu, munhu anoita kuti vamwe vafarire kuita basa rekutevera.
I was born and raised in Chiredzi, Zimbabwe, small farming town. My dad worked on a sugar estate. We grew sugar cane. We always lived like out in the country. I was just an outside kid. I remember coming here and being an almost 40-year-old married man with a kid and being in a CNA class with like the next oldest person was 26. It was all a bunch of like 20-year-old females who would spend the outside of formal instruction time talking about shopping and Nebraska crossing and all this stuff, and I'd just be sitting there like, whew, maybe this was not the greatest idea.
One of the first conversations I had with TG about working here is that he just wants to bring joy to people's lives. And if that is your plan, you're going to thrive here at QLI, whatever position you're in.
I don't know that there is anything else I could be doing anywhere else where I could be all of myself. I'm free to explore all my interests, to learn from folks. We all start as artists when we're kids. It's before we can write, we're drawing, we're coloring, we're creating, and it's something that we unfortunately surrender creativity and art. Jameson, I mean, he's an artist. And so I think artists, they register differently with me. You know, we connect. He had to paint. It was a fundamental part of who he was. You can't help but be inspired by someone that's just that driven to create.
Jameson Brissett, I'm from Boston, Massachusetts. I was injured almost 3 years ago in a diving accident. When I came to Nebraska, I was expecting overalls and pitchforks and cornfields. I'm not expecting TG, who is a very dynamic personality. As I've gone through this, psychological journey, and I would definitely call it a journey, a lot of ups and downs. TG is a safe space. He shows up for wherever you are today. There are people who can be who they are, give of themselves, and be fulfilled in what they're doing.
Do you want to say anything directly to him, like congratulating him or thanking him in any way?
I would congratulate TG, but I don't think that it would mean as much to him. I'd rather thank him.
Doesn't matter.
Wait, how's John getting content?
Big day, Jeremy. What do you think?
I try to be nice
Excited?
to John, and he
I'm
always
trying
says
to buy sad. The name time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah, you made a lot of friends here, huh?
did.
Yeah.
Shoes. Oh, is that right? Okay, first things first, seatbelt.
A train is arriving. Please keep clear for passengers exiting the train.
Luggage wise. We can get you.
Oh ya ini.
Jeremy. He's a young father, worked at a Pizza Hut. They worked nights and took care of their son who is autistic, nonverbal. He got injured working on his car. They were using a small jack, jacking up this car and didn't have jack stands, and the jack failed. My big thing was just getting them back to being a family. Getting to take someone home, seeing the fruits of all your labors when a person walks through that threshold at home, gets to go back to their work or just takes you around their town. Like that for me will always be very, very special.
It is a very intimate thing to go into a home space and to see those challenges, and to choose someone like TG to go back and do those things. That's incredible.
Hey Dan, I sent you a dessert.
You did?
Yeah, it looks like it just got delivered.
Well, there he is. What are you doing, brother? He's jerking my chain. You remember TG?
dessert, right?
My name's Dan Pearson, and what brought me to QI is I fell off the truck on the concrete on my head, and everybody that had anything to do in the loop said that QI is where I needed to come for treatment because you're going to get better going there than any place else.
Think about this guy who was strong and working on a truck and living life to the fullest, to now this injury happened. And when I went and saw him, his biggest thrill of the day was going to the grocery store. So life had drastically changed for Danny. And I remember when I went to go see him, he was in tears and just wanted so much more for his life.
I had some real dark days when I first got here. Wasn't real sure that it wouldn't have been better if it had just gone the other way and I wouldn't have to go through it. But I found hope. Hope is a hard thing to impart on somebody unless you exhibit hope. TG doesn't draw a lot of attention to himself, but he's a good man with a good heart. I just admire that he's dedicated and believes in what he's doing.
I mean, the Dan that I see now and the Dan from when I first met him, just completely different people. It went from him having no idea who I was to him asking how my wife and kids were.
This place has been remarkable. I can't talk about it or the people without crying.
TG was the one to get in there and build a relationship and help him see light at the end of the tunnel, to when the time came for Dan to discharge, he was looking forward to it. And TG was taking him home and he was thrilled. And I just never thought that we would ever get to that point of his program.
TG, I love you like a brother.
A life without hope, optimism, meaning is a life not worth living. When I think of TG and how he shows up, meeting people at their point of need and pouring into them, that's what we define as Life Path Services at QLI.
TG is one of our understated persons here at QLI. He is not here for accolades. I don't think that TG cares at all about any of that. He has his purpose, and that's to help others in the way that he can, and that's what he does every single day.
If it was my loved one within this program, I would handpick TG on that team in a heartbeat.
In the Shona language of Zimbabwe, the name Tafadzwa is one who is appreciated, valued, pleasing. That is the definition. We are pleased. You are appreciated. You are valued. Tafadzwa.